Just hold on, we're going home. You're the one. Give me everything I know. Alright, y'all, welcome to my version of the 75 Hard. Today is day 1. I will be uploading once a week on Mondays, probably Monday night, and then daily shorts just on the physical progress every single day on shorts as well after that. I know it's been a while since people who have been watching my channel have seen me, so welcome back. It's nice to be back. I was going through Christmas, New Year's. I had a lot of trips I was taking. And really, I started this channel out to stay disciplined to myself, and it did what it needed to do. Luckily, I actually started catching some attention along the way, so I spent some time off brainstorming, figuring out what my plan is, how to execute properly, what I really want out of this YouTube, and what I want out of this journey in general. And, you know, I am far from figuring it all out, but I have a better idea now than I did before, and so I was like, let me be patient. And that's why I'm doing it once a week for you guys and not every day. But these videos, I'm going to try and give you guys my all, catch you guys up on everything I do throughout the week, so it's actually very valuable for you guys. So I'm going to go over a few things right now here in the car about the 75 Hard. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is why I'm doing it. And the main reason on why I'm doing it is the same reason I do anything that I don't like to do. To make sure that I am not letting my emotions control my discipline. And number 2, there's some things that I know I need to work on, and doing this can help me permanently. You know, I call it the 75 Hard, but a few of these habits I want to stick with me so I can carry it on throughout my life. So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. To also go to that, there's 2 people who do the 75 Hard. There's people who say they want to do it, and there's people who say they're going to do it. So if you're out there and you're watching this and you want to start, don't tell yourself you want to do it or you think you're going to do it. If you're going to do it, say that you're going to accomplish it and do it, and do it. There's no excuses about it. So that's how that works. So for me, I'm going to do the 75 Hard. I know I'm going to do it. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm fully aware of that, but no matter what, I'm going to do it. I've done way harder things in my life. So this honestly should be a breeze compared to some things, but it's also going to be a lot harder than most things that I do on a daily basis in my life. The next thing I want to talk about is what I am focusing on in this 75 Hard. For me, now this is strictly for me. The main things I'm focusing on is no drinking, no nicotine, and no lust. These are easily the 3 things I struggle with the most. And it's not like I abuse these things. I'm very healthy. I work out 6 or 7 times a week. You know, I eat good. And I really only drink about once a week. And sometimes I'll go a week or something without drinking. But I've been doing that once a week kind of thing for so long now, to where it's like I need to cut that off. Spend a few months, or at least two and a half months with this 75 Hard away from the drinking, and just fully locking in on my health. And if I see a big enough difference in my physique, I'm obviously going to carry that on. My goal moving forward is to only drink on occasions after this challenge, you know, and things like that. I'm not going to completely eliminate it. At least, I don't know, but I want to like come very close to eliminating it, or only if I'm celebrating something with friends, because I'm also very important on emotional and mental happiness and socializing. And I know drinking and stuff doesn't necessarily have to correlate with that, but for me it does. So if that's what that means, what it means. But during these next 75 Hard, the drinking part will probably be the hardest. When the weekends roll around, my friends are asking me to go out. I just turned 21, so as you can see, that'd be something you might want to do, or I'd really want to do, but I'm going to stay strict on that. And that one really is in control of the other 2. When I drink, I want to smoke nicotine, whether it's like a cigarette or one of my friends' vapes. When I'm sober, I don't have this issue. And this is me being transparent with you guys. I never talked about this stuff when I used to record. So if you're watching this, this might be new. This is new to anybody. My previous followers, anybody who's new is watching. The drinking leads to the women and the smoking. So I'm pretty reliant on, if I stop drinking, I'll be better off on these other 2, but I obviously know that I need to still prioritize these 2 individually, because I'm not a very lustful man or anything, but women, I talk to women, we flirt, and I'm a man at the end of the day. So I really am trying to focus on being in control of that part. And I'm not out of control, but I could do better. I feel like we can all do a little better in certain things, and I can definitely do better in that. And nicotine is the number one thing, like with drinking, but even aside, like no matter what, I'm not going to smoke any nicotine. And the best way to challenge myself, and if you're somebody who is trying to stop nicotine, buy a vape, buy a pack of cigarettes, and put it right in front of you. Make sure you see this every day, because if you don't give yourself the opportunity to smoke and you're making that choice to not smoke, then as soon as it comes around, you're going to take that chance, because you're going to make an excuse as far as, oh, well, I'm not doing it that often, or, oh, it's only my friends, or blah, blah, blah. But next thing you know, it starts carrying on into the weekends and stuff like that. Now you're doing it every weekend, at least for me. So the way that I learn the best is putting it right in front of me and controlling my mind to never grab one. Because if it's never, people say it's out of sight, out of mind, but then when it comes into sight, then now it's in your mind. Now it's in my sight and it's still out of my mind. So that's one of the best ways, in my opinion, you can control yourself with anything that you're trying to keep yourself away from, if that makes sense. So those are the most important things on what I'm focusing on. I have some notes here. I just want to double check. Oh, and then the other part of it was reading. I've never been a huge reader. Self-improvement books are pretty, and philosophical books would be my style of reading, and I can understand those better, but I was never good at reading like romance and drama and things like that. So I think these will be a little bit easier, and I'm also going to be reflecting on what I read within either that week or that day of these weekly uploads. So like today at night, I'm going to reflect on this book that I'm currently reading. Well, I'm going to start reading, and it's called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna West. It's pretty much, I can read a quick on the back of it, but it's a deeply moving philosophical writing, to summarize this. So I'm really into philosophy. I'm going to reflect on what I learned from this and share it with you guys. The minimum is 10 pages a day, so I'll always be keeping up with that. It's something I've never done before, is read 10 pages of a book every single day. So that's something that you can also, what I'm also focusing on in this 75 hard challenge. Now, moving on, what do I expect out of the 75 hard challenge? The main thing that I am expecting is what I am prioritizing, which is quitting the drinking, nicotine, and lustfully. And obviously, like, when the 75's over, I want to take away this journey and carry it as a piece of with me to stay disciplined moving forward after this. I don't ever expect to be perfect. I know with life and this journey, it's going to come with mistakes and flaws and things that go wrong, but especially after, when I feel like it's over, but I really want to carry this on in certain aspects. But I expect to feel a lot more healthier. I expect to gain weight because I'm also sticking to a strict diet, which is mainly 185 grams of protein, but I'm also going to start paying more attention to my sugar and carb intake, because even though I'm already really skinny, I want to get as lean as I can while also gaining muscle as quickly as I can. So I'm trying to just overall perfect my physical aspect, because I've been doing this for so long to where it's like, it's time for me to actually get this part situated, and this shouldn't even be a problem, And then there's a few small details I wanted to talk about that kind of go with the physical part. The supplements I'll be taking are magnesium for muscle soreness, creatine for brain health, function, and obviously muscle growth as well, and recovery. I mean, there's a ton of things for creatine. Magnesium, creatine, fish oil, and vitamin D. Those are mainly for skin, bone, hair, and nails. So just normal vitamins that, vitamin D comes from the sun, and I'm in Kentucky where, like, during the winter time, we don't get a lot of sun, so things like that help with that. That's just some things I'm throwing in there that if you're considering taking or starting this journey, you can kind of get a few things on track. So supplements, get you a book, and you can kind of just take a look at what I'm doing and make your own version of a 75 hard. don't try and be perfect. Start small and work your way up, and then slowly start adding things on, or do what you're capable of, and don't set your expectations too high, because that's how you burn yourself out. And then the next thing I want to talk about is scheduling, as in like what the schedule will look like as far as uploads, and then my daily schedule. So I am unemployed currently, aka I have my own business, a little bit of both. I think I said that backwards. I have my own business, aka unemployed. But main thing is with that is I am working on my own business right now. So throughout the day, you can really only do so much when you start your own business, which is my shower glass business. I go into bathrooms, I put in shower glass. So on days where I have jobs that I need to do, which is rare right now, but I've had two. I got another one coming up this week. My main priority is my business, but I will always focus on the lust, the drinking, and the nicotine on days that I have jobs, in the books, and then the 2 workouts. Like I have a checklist, which includes the workout, 2 workouts, 185 grams of protein, 10 pages, no lust, no drinking, and no nicotine. Like these are 6 things that I will do every single day, and that is the core of my 75 hard challenge. Now, I've included some other things that I'll do on days where I don't have jobs, but when I have these jobs, I have to prioritize my business, because my goal right now is to scale that and work on that. But that doesn't take away from the 75 hard, and I look at this as like a business kind of thing, and it's a mental and physical health thing for me as well, and that's the number one priority. You can't run a business if you're not healthy. So that's kind of what that will look like, and then I will be uploading again once a week on Mondays for you guys, and then daily uploads on shorts, just probably physique updates, nothing crazy. I might go in there and talk to the camera or something. Those will be on my phone. The weekly uploads will obviously be on my camera, get you guys the best quality I can. And then moving on now, finally, sorry for all the talk about the 75 hard and every little detail about that. Talking about what I have going on today. So today, I just drank a 50-gram protein shake, took all my supplements. I woke up, cleaned my room a little bit. The cleaning ladies are here to take care of that stuff. That's why I'm also recording in my car. I'm about to go over to the gym. I am going to work on my outdoor workout. I don't know yet. I might just start with weightlifting and do my outdoor workout later. Or I might do calisthenics outside with some sprints and things like that. But the main thing with that is I will just follow up with you guys after my workout. I don't like to film a lot of stuff during, because I'm very focused. That might change in the future, but as of right now, for me, it just makes more sense to do it in the format in which I'm doing it. So I'll catch you guys after my workout. The main thing about the 2 workouts is one has to be indoor and one has to be outdoor. And I don't know if you can see, but there's about 2 feet of snow and it is 30 degrees outside. But no matter what, you have to do it aside the weather. So again, if you're looking to start this challenge, that's going to be one of the harder things about it, is doing an indoor and outdoor workout. But I'm about to scoop some pre-workout. I'm going to go get my first workout in, and then I will catch up with you guys after so you guys can see the pump. And the outdoor workout also can just be anything physical outdoor, walking, jogging, if you have a calisthenics park, anything. So I'm going to be dabbling in between those things, figuring out what I like the most, and going with that. And yeah, so that was kind of a lot, but it was my first video back, and I wanted to explain what the future will look like, and how I plan on moving forward with things, and my goals, and just everything about this 75 hard challenge that you guys want to know. And I really wish I could upload daily for you guys, but I've realized it just wouldn't make sense, because if I have jobs during the week, I have to go to Indiana to go get glass and bring it back down here. I mean, last time I worked literally from 8 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. So, and that was not including the gym or anything like that. So I don't even want to set myself that expectation of trying to upload every day. I'm just going to tell you guys now that it'll be once a week, and I feel like everything I've said, even though it's been a lot, has been a little bit of valuable information that you can take away, whether it's you wanting to start your 75 hard or you following along with the journey, or just anything that has to do with, physical growth or mental growth, And along this journey, like on these weekly uploads, I will be sharing anything I can that I feel. None of this is scripted. This is all, what I do is I jot down notes and then I go off of that on how I feel. So all the mental difficulties, the physical difficulties, the goods, the bads, the highs, the lows, everything in between, I will be sharing with you guys. The hardest part I know for this will be being alone in this time, because these next 75 days, I really am going to have to isolate myself, because a lot of friends that I have, I love them to death, but they can distract me from things that I'm focusing on, especially during this challenge where I'm stepping everything up a notch. So all that plus starting my business and doing the YouTube stuff, I know I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time alone, but at least I'll be working, and I honestly enjoy working and being alone sometimes. So it'll all work out. Thank you guys for watching this first little segment, but yeah, I will catch you guys after the gym, and hopefully I got a nasty pump. Today is leg day. Alrighty guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that leg pump. I just finished up the first workout, and I went ahead and went over to Starbucks because it's right by my gym, and I've noticed one thing that's going to help me with the reading part is giving myself either a good location. I just went into Starbucks, sat down, and read 10 pages, and it was very easy for me to focus and kind of actually understand what I'm reading. If there's anybody out there who has struggle, because I had struggle, I obviously know how to read, but comprehending the text is a little more difficult than I feel like a lot of people make it seem, especially for people who didn't read a lot growing up and who didn't maybe pay as much attention in school and want to start focusing on it now. I feel like it helps for me to just go isolate myself somewhere where there's not a lot of distractions, and also reading a little out loud, talking. I was kind of whispering what I was reading, but just doing that kind of helped me comprehend it, and then also giving myself a few seconds to actually think about what I just read. Now, some of the stuff in this book I'm reading, it's kind of already normal ball knowledge for me, or things I already know, but there's other things in this book where I kind of have to sit down and think about it. There was one thing in this book, and that's what I'm going to do right now, is just go ahead and reflect on a few things of these books, and then I'm going to get ready for the second workout. Well, I'm going to go eat some food, get some lunch in, and then get ready for the second workout. But I want to reflect on this book first, since I just got finished. I even took some notes down. One thing that I remember that I didn't write down was, even when the storm clears, it was something along the lines of, when the storm will clear, you'll see the stars differently. So when you're going through a hard time, during that hard time, it's really difficult, and even before that, let's say you're living your life, it's fine, and then the storm comes, aka something bad in your life happens, and then after the storm clears, the problem resides, the issue's over with, you figure it out, because no issue lasts forever. Eventually, you may not forget it, but you'll get to a point where you've accepted it. And so when you get to this point, after the storm clears, you see the stars differently. As in, you look at the situation at hand that you went through, and now you can look at your life a little differently. Hopefully positively, as in a learning experience or something that kind of helped you get a little bit better with realization in that scenario or whatever it is. So I really liked that. I sat there and pondered that for a minute, because at first I didn't quite get what it was saying. When the storm clears, you'll look at the stars differently. It was a little simple, but I kind of had to put myself in a situation where I went through the storm, and how I saw the stars differently after the situation was done, to really fully understand what that quote meant. So that's the first thing. And then the notes that I wrote down, I wrote this one down. I fully understand this. It's the things you hate about yourself are what you hate about, no, the things you hate about other people are what you hate about yourself. And you can replace hate with love. The things you love about other people are what you love about yourself. And that's just nature. That has nothing to do with selfishness or anything like that. But the reason why I wrote that down is because I don't necessarily hate anybody, but there's times when I'm around people and there's certain things I don't like. So I wrote that down because I want to start prioritizing those things I feel like I don't like about other people and trying to dig deeper into myself and figure out why I don't like that about that person or why I don't like that about me, because clearly I'm portraying the insecurities of that upon other people. Now, the reason why this quote's a little tricky and why I wrote it down is because, like, if someone, let's say, is not a good friend, just let's say someone steals from me and I don't like that about them. That doesn't mean that I don't like that about myself because I'm a stealer. Like, I don't steal, you know, but it's just something I want to think about. I want to expand on that throughout reading this book and going throughout my life. I want to think about this more and what ways it relates to me and where to draw the line and other things like that. And then this is the last thing, and I already know this, but it's another thing that I know I want to focus on even more, is when I'm listening to people talk, I want to make sure that I'm leaving room to hear them and not focus on what I'm going to say back to them. A lot of times when people talk to me, I'm starting to realize, or just talk in general, especially emotionally conversations, it's not because they want advice or because they're looking for a response. It's because they need somebody to actually hear what they have to say and validate their feelings, right or wrong. Because at the end of the day, we're all allowed to feel what we want to feel, no matter if we made a wrong decision or not. You know, you can't just invalidate someone else's feelings. So one thing that I want to focus on is, like, when my friends and anybody, my sister, my mom, comes to talk to me, is not just trying to criticize anybody and give them necessarily words in response, but just saying it's okay to feel that way, and I understand, and you know, I'm here for you, you know, and figuring out how to be with someone and help them without using words and more just emotional presence and understanding, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I got out of the first 10 pages of this book. I'm gonna go home. I might stop by Kroger. I'm gonna see real quick if I need any food, because there's one right up the road, and I'm gonna make some lunch and then figure out what I want to do for this second half of the workout, because it got really warm now and it's 41, so I might want to check out this calisthenic parks, and I'll obviously take you guys with me. But thank you guys for watching so far. Alrighty guys, well, I am over here at the Calisthenics Park here in Newport, Kentucky. Earlier I was meal prepping and making lunch. I got started on my outdoor workout. I wanted to see how it was with the snow. It's a little okay, but I'm gonna mess around here. I'm gonna record some footage for you guys. The sun's actually setting, so it'd be a perfect time. And then I might go over to Cincinnati, which is right across the bridge, and finish up the total, because I'll probably only be here for about 10-15 minutes. Finish up the other 20-30 minutes over in Cincinnati. Just, you know, I also get asked often what I love so much about Kentucky, and I'm here to say the sunsets. And I'm here to say the sunsets because they're just beautiful. But as you can see here, it is pretty snowy. I would get the full outdoor workout in here, but I'm really not trying to just step in all this snow this whole time. But here's the sunset. They got some rings here, some dips machine. This is my first time here. My favorite's the rings, but they got all kinds of random stuff. These little blocks, I guess, for like jumping and stuff. But I'm gonna mess around on the rings. That's kind of what I like. And the pull-up bar, obviously. There it is. So you guys can see me mess around here for a little bit. Alright, well, I know that's pretty quick, but I kind of just came here to check this out. It wasn't snowing. I get a lot more to it. Plus, I had work out earlier, so my chest is already sore and shit. So I'm called here, but I need to run for a little bit of walk to get up for my outdoor workout. Alright, well, I know that was pretty quick, but I kind of just came here to check this out. If it wasn't snowing, I'd be getting a lot more to it. Plus, I had a workout earlier, so my chest is already sore and shit. So I'm gonna call it here, but I am gonna go run for a little bit or walk to get the other part of my outdoor workout in.
They're 20. Each little silver so delicious. This is start to be. We'll treat all kinds of shit. That's part of the game. Don't do anything with that.
One more meal and I will be finished with the first day of the 75 hard challenge. And the first thing I want to talk about is the first day. I already know the first week is probably going to be the easiest because you have the most confidence. I've told myself you're going to do it. It's when you start to get tired of the process. So I already have a feeling, like I kind of know what to expect, so I feel like that's even going to make it easier as it goes on. But yeah, overall today was really good. I also I don't have like a job to stack this on top of, so I also gives me more of a benefit and a foot in the door to like really not have any excuses on to why I can't do this. I do have like a little conclusion, but I just wanted to kind of talk about those things first. I am kind of used to like setting up a structure and stuff and schedule and following things. There was just a time there where I didn't. And so now getting back to it, it does feel good. The first day feels really good. You know, I'm exhausted. I did the 2 workouts as you guys saw. I also really I really enjoyed recording this video because I have been able to take you guys along with me through the day and being able to speak my actual mind with you guys about different things and different topics and on the move and showing you guys everything. And I'm also excited to provide you guys with this long form video once a week on Monday, including the updates as we go, because I will be able to actually go out of my way to give you guys the value and the entertainment. What you saw was me at a coffee shop, and that's one thing I also realized that I did today is I went to different places and I noticed different things, and that's kind of where I want to start shifting into this conclusion, where I kind of wrote a few notes at the end at the coffee shop that I was just at that I was thinking about and reflecting on my first day. And I'll read them to you now. Throughout the day, I've done such similar yet different things. In the future, continue to find new spots, creating and simply experiencing. Spent most of the day alone, yet got so much done, and know it would never happen if I was with other people. Get up and do it. These are kind of like just notes to myself. It's crazy how many new faces in skies you will see every day when you actually take the time to look. Enjoy the cold and the wet feet. They will take you way farther than the comfortable feet. That I felt that most is when I was doing my outdoor workout when I went on the walk in Cincinnati and I walked on the bridge. That's what I was thinking in my head because my feet got wet and cold and I saw a beautiful sunset. you know, and that's where I always have to remind myself, is your cup half empty or half full? And then I started at the coffee shop. I noticed this is where I kind of finished up. As I said, very cool people, noticing just from the little things. Interviews, chess games, and conversations with friends, all while the bartender stands alone in the back, taking care of each memory, yet making one of his own. That one was a little poetic, but it just came. I was just writing, and it came off well. And that's kind of how I was thinking when I was at that little bar, because I was sitting by myself and I was writing. I was just kind of scheduling my day for tomorrow, and I was just looking around, and it was a really cool old school bar cafe kind of lounge thing. And I was just sitting alone and just being able to really observe everything around me. And it was truly beautiful. It was like an art of just experiencing every little emotion of everybody's conversation around you, you know. Kind of like the idea of Sonder, you know, it's just, but it's beautiful in a way rather than sad. But that wraps up my first day of doing the 75 hard. I hope you guys enjoyed this video along with the journey, and I will follow up with you guys in 1 week, and I will give you an update on the physique. I'll walk you through the work. I'll take you guys through the pump, the outdoor stuff, reflection on the book, and everything that I do that day, to similar to what I did today, but reflecting on a week of doing this now. That's another thing, is this journey was also the most difficult part was recording throughout the day, but I still was able to do it, and I know that once a week I'll be able to put in the amount of effort and quality that I've always wanted to in these videos for you guys by the end of the night, and upload them to you, even though it's only once a week. And who knows what I decide to do in between and where the journey takes me beyond this, but I hope you guys decide to follow along. Thanks for watching.